ที่ดีขึ้นเนี่ยมาคุยกับคุณอินเทียสนะคะคุณอินเทียสเนี่ยจะเป็นนักข่าวสายน่ารักใช่ไหมคะคุณอินเทียสสายน่ารักค่ะคุณอินเทียสจะมาพูดในเรื่องของ Peace of Phuket ก็คือเราจะเป็นแนวคิดของการนำการท่องเที่ยวมาพัฒนาหรือว่าทำเมืองให้มันดีขึ้นนะคะจริงๆแล้วมันก็จะตรงกับความเป็นเกาะภูเก็ตอยู่แล้วเพราะเกาะภูเก็ตเราเนี่ยในเรื่องของการท่องเที่ยวจะเป็นคีย์เวิร์ดหลักของทุกอย่างในภูเก็ตฉะนั้นเนี่ยถ้าเราจะทำให้เมืองดีขึ้นไอเดียนี้ก็เป็นหนึ่งไอเดียที่น่าจะดีขึ้นมันมากกว่าในเรื่องของสิ่งแวดล้อมแต่คือความสุขของคนในบ้านว่าจะทำยังไงกันดีให้มันมีความสุขเพิ่มมากขึ้นจากธุรกิจของการท่องเที่ยวเชิญคุณอินเทียสค่ะ
Everybody has ChatGPT. Everybody has ChatGPT. Just take 2 minutes and put my name into ChatGPT. Say, ask ChatGPT, who is Imtiaz?
If ChatGPT cannot answer, how we do that?
Oh, you see, wait for the answer. Who is Imtiaz?
Don't forget to check the picture นะคะด้านข้างเดินไหมคะคุณอินเทียสเดินไหมคะ
Everybody got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't have to introduce myself.
Okay. Just read from here.
Now everybody
Okay.
So
Okay, say goodbye.
now you know who I am. Okay, we have 3 more people coming. Should we wait for that? Waiting.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณอรชัยเป็นบริการสมาชิกสภาผู้แทนราษฎรภูเก็ตสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะสวัสดีค่ะไม่เป็นไรค่ะ
I will stay here, no worry, and very nice to be here. I have my team to join too.
Thank you.
They are in the PhD education, so I think it will be better because you work on the smart city. So that would be a good chance to you.
สวัสดีค่ะ
So as you have, thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with me today. I just told the other people, do you have ChatGPT on your phone?
I'm sorry.
Do you have ChatGPT on your phone?
Yes,
you have
I
ChatGPT?
do.
Okay. Just take 1 minute and put my name into ChatGPT.
Okay.
And just ask who is
Mr. Imtiaz?
Imtiaz Muqbil?
Because my brother don't like interview.
So I don't want to talk about myself. I have been living in Thailand for many years, and I have tried to. I understand Thai very well, but my speaking is very bad because I can't do the tones, rising, falling, short, long, up, down. I have tried, but I always say the wrong tone. And when I say the wrong tone, my wife, she laughs at me. And when she laughs at me, it's very embarrassing. Because I have great difficulty with my speaking, but I understand pretty good. So, and I read very well as well. So I won't make presentations in Thai, sorry, but I'm still working. Anyhow, I have been covering tourism in Thailand since 1981. I started working for a publication called TTG, Travel Trade Gazette, in Bangkok. And for a long time, in the 1980s, we had a lot of major developments. We had the AIDS problem. We had the 1985 military coup. We had the the 1987 Visit Thailand year, very big event. Nobody knows today anything about that, but probably the most important event in the history of Thai tourism, 1987 Visit Thailand year. I asked people, do anybody know anything about this event? Nobody knows anything about it. It was marking the 60th birthday, the fifth cycle birthday of His Majesty King Ramadan in 1987. And as we all know, the 60th birthday is a very important event in the life. So this was His Majesty's 60th birthday, and it was a huge tourism celebration. Probably the most important marketing event in the history, certainly of Thai tourism, maybe in global tourism. But very sad today, nobody knows anything about it. So what I do is I focus on the history of Thai tourism, because I think it's very important for the generation today to understand the history of Thai tourism. If we don't understand the history of Thai tourism, we will never be able to develop a better future. We have to know the past in order to understand the future. So that's my focus. I focus on history. And one thing I will also tell you, when I was in school, I failed mathematics and science. Anything with a number, any subject with a number or a formula, I failed. But history, geography, literature, culture, I was perfect. I enjoyed that. So this is my passion about history. So that's what I'm going to be giving you today. Now, this lecture, I'm giving it actually tomorrow at a forum at Prince of Somthang University, this lecture. But I told Kuntup that I'm coming here for a lecture. She said, oh, please come and give people of Phuket as well. So I said, sure, no problem. So if you put anything on social media, please don't publish anything until Tuesday, because after the official lecture tomorrow, because this is actually meant for Prince of Somthang University tomorrow. So, I think we know today that there is chaos all over the world. Wars, global warming, all kinds of problems. You can see leadership collapse, human rights, all kinds of issues. People think that we have no control anymore. We are losing, we don't know, like tomorrow what is going to happen, nobody knows. More problems. Last year we already had 3 problems nobody expected. We had the earthquake, nobody thought big earthquake in Bangkok. Then we had the war with Cambodia, and then we had the scam center. All 3 huge problems, and last year tourism went down. Then this year now we've got war in the Middle East. So every year some new problem already coming. Nobody expected, like particularly last year with the war between Thailand and Cambodia. Like who would think that Thailand and Cambodia, 2 countries so close, good friends, Buddhist kingdom, culture, heritage, same border, will suddenly go to war? Nobody thought that would happen. Crazy. Scam center suddenly came up out of nowhere. Earthquake. So every year there is some, and now only until March, only today March, and there's a war in the Middle East. Still 9 months to go. Who knows what is going to happen? Every day there is some new chaos. But the war in the Middle East, war in Cambodia, with Cambodia, is getting worse now, because there are major fights all over the world between Russia and China, between China and Japan, between all kinds of things. So India and Pakistan. Wars are now becoming a major problem all over the world. And this is becoming a huge issue for us. And wars are now impacting us, because you can see from the Middle East now, the Arab market to Thailand gone. Nobody is coming here now anymore. when the Thai-Cambodian situation, all the Cambodians coming to Thailand, gone. So wars are affecting us. So peace is becoming a very important criteria, very important for stability. And peace now not just outside Thailand, but for many years even inside Thailand, whenever we had a problem with military coups, with political clash, our industry suffered. So peace is, it doesn't matter whether it's on the border, it doesn't matter whether it's inside the country, it doesn't matter whether it's outside the country. If there is no peace, if there is any problem with peace, tourism suffers. Come. And when it makes no difference where it is, whether it's inside Thailand or within the region or all over. So in a way, it is becoming our most important problem right now. That if the countries begin to fight, and now because the nuclear weapons and everything else, the situation all around the world is very, very dangerous. And that will certainly have an impact on tourism. It will have an impact on our country as a whole. So for us as an industry, it's very important to do something about it. We always say that tourism is an industry of peace. Tourism is an industry of peace. When you look at it, no other business can say that they are a business of peace. The banks cannot say that we are an industry of peace. The technology companies cannot say we are an industry of peace. The construction people cannot say we are an industry of peace. We in tourism are an industry of peace. Why? Because we bring people together. We are about friendship. We are about hospitality. We are about culture. We are about heritage. This is what we sell. We don't sell rooms. We don't sell beds. We don't sell seats. We sell our culture. We sell our heritage. We sell our friendliness, our service, our history. This is what we sell. We don't sell seats. We don't sell beds. We don't sell rooms. Rooms all separate. That's the business. But we are selling peace between people who come to see our culture, our heritage, our temples, our monuments, our museums. No other business does that. The banks don't sell our culture, our heritage, our museum. The construction business does not sell our museum, our culture, our heritage. The IT companies don't sell our culture, our heritage, only tourism. So tourism is the only industry of peace. And when there is war, when there is military coups, when there is conflict anywhere in the world, we in tourism get affected very badly. So, if there is war right now, we have to convert a crisis into an opportunity. And that's what I'm going to do today. So we are looking at new ideas to see how to convert this crisis into an opportunity. Now, everybody heard of Sustainable Development Goals? Everybody heard? Okay. Now, when you talk of Sustainable Development Goals, what happens? People only talk about climate change, right? Only about the environment, only about global warming, right? Okay. If you see number 16, nobody pays any attention, right? Nobody even knows about number 16. What is number 16?
Peaceful.
Nobody knows anything about this. Number 16. So, today, when we talk about sustainability, we have to change that. We have to move away from climate change, global warming, energy, waste management, towards building the peace. That's becoming, we have to make this the most important one of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. So this is, everybody knows about the SDGs. We just need to change the focus a little. Now, how many of you have heard of this document? Anybody heard of this? ASEAN 2045? Nobody. Now, this is very important because, again, we all talk, we say, oh, Thailand is part of ASEAN. But when you say, today I ask many people, can you name the capital cities of the ASEAN countries? Nobody knows anything. Nobody. So how can you be part of ASEAN if you can't even name the capital cities of the ASEAN countries? I ask people, how many members of ASEAN? Nobody knows. Same thing with this. This document is supposed to be for all of ASEAN. The ministers, the prime ministers, the presidents, everybody come, they sign this document, and they go away. The people don't know anything about it. So all the leaders, they know about this, but the people don't know anything about it. So what's the use? So today, I'm going to show you what this document says, because the word peace is mentioned 69 times in this document. You can download it, it's on the net. You can download it. You take a photograph, we're just more than happy to just download it.
Is it free download?
Yeah, you just put it ASEAN 2045, our shared future. You can download it. The word peace is mentioned 69 times here. Very important. And I will show you just three areas of how peace is mentioned. Over there. It says, we underline the need for ASEAN as the locomotive for peace, stability, and prosperity. When we say we Makamala, we means the leaders of the country. But the leaders that sign the document, but the people don't know anything about it. So today, maybe for the first time, you're saying, oh, there is a statement like this, we. We doesn't mean only the leaders, it means the people. So we underline the need for people. Then another area, culture of peace, dialogue, and cooperation. Create a culture of peace, dialogue, and cooperation. Friendship, what we said in tourism. Number 3, good governance. Again, promote activities and programs to strengthen the culture of peace. That is what I'm doing today. That is what Kuntu has called me for to do today. Yes, please.
So you mean the culture of peace that you will elaborate today discussion, right?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right.
Because from this definition, if we don't have like the elaboration or example, we wouldn't understand.
Absolutely correct. That's why and I have to
Thank
give
you
her
so
credit.
much.
I have to give her credit, because when I explained the concept to her, she understood it immediately.
Thank you.
So I'm doing what these leaders, all the Puna of our country, they go there, they sign the document, and the people don't know anything about it. So today, thanks to Kuntu, we are coming here together so that you understand what's in this. We the people, we need to do this. So this is part of that process today. Next. His Majesty the King, after one of the elections, he told the government, bring peace. Very simple message. No peace in Thailand, no development, no economic progress, nothing. Right? So, if you look at it, peace in the world, peace in the region, peace in Thailand. We need all three. We need all three. And this is the message from His Majesty. Very simple. But, like I said, as sustainable development goes, nobody knows anything about it, nobody pays any attention. So today, many of you will leave this room today thinking, maybe we need to start thinking about it. And it's very important because, again, it all started with a small idea and Kuntu immediately understood the value of that. So today, this is what we are doing today. Now, I call Thailand, I told you, I specialize in the history of Thai tourism. Now, I call Thailand the greatest story in Thai, in global tourism history. Global tourism history. People say, why you call Thailand the greatest story in global tourism history? If you look at the history of Thailand, Thai tourism, we have been hit by nearly every crisis known to mankind, except snowstorm and avalanche.
Even now we have the crisis.
Even now we have crisis. Even now we have crisis. So, like I said, when I started covering tourism in 1981, the first crisis we had was the AIDS pandemic. The AIDS pandemic. Then we had military coups. Then we had the military coups. Then we had the 97 crash, 1997, everybody remembers, right? Then we have had global problems. Then we had a tsunami. Then we have had health pandemics, SARS, global warming, military coups, all kinds of problems. But in spite of that, in spite of all these problems, we are still the number one for tourism. Which means that we are very good at marketing. We are good at, we know what we do, how to bounce back from the wicket. So that's why our numbers are good. And also because we have got a good product. Our hotels, our beaches, our museums, our heritage, among the best in the world. Many airlines want to fly to Thailand. Many hotels want to open in Thailand. So we are very good at it. Much better than people going to Malaysia or Indonesia or any of the other places. So we keep bouncing back. So even though we have all the, and I think when people want to study the history of tourism, everyone wants to say, oh, we should learn from Thailand. We go and learn from Thailand. Why? Because we are good. We may get hit by lots of crises, but we are good at what we do. We come back, we bounce back. We come up with the right marketing strategy, the nice price strategies. And even now with the Visa campaign, good campaign. Unfortunately, it's been affected by the war in the Middle East. But that's separate. We are good at what we do. So that's why we keep bouncing back. And that's why I call Thailand the greatest story in global tourism history. No country in the world has been affected by so many crises and still remains number one. Still remains number one. We are very good at it. Now, I first came to Phuket in 1983. This was when Thai opened the first flight, and they had a MAP meeting. MAP was Thai. Every year they had a meeting called MAP. MAP is Marketing Activity Plan. Marketing Activity Plan. They had that. I came to Phuket for the first time in 1983. I went to all around the island. There was nothing here. Patong, there was nothing. Only beautiful trees. No hotels, no nothing. Beautiful beach. Nothing. And at that time, everybody said, oh, we are now developing Phuket. We will learn from the mistakes of Pattaya. Well, did we learn from mistakes of Pattaya? I don't know. It's something that we need to study. But at that time, they said, we will learn from the mistakes of Pattaya. But what happened? A few years later, we got these headlines. In 1983, this is the rape of Phuket, victim of greed. Only a few years later. So maybe we didn't learn from the mistakes of Pattaya because we became like Pattaya.
Just follow.
But we are good at this. We have nice plans. We talk a lot. Sometimes we don't enforce. But this is again, we need to look at this because it's not going to be possible in the future to do this. But I keep these because I study history. I've got a lot of archives of old newspaper clips like this.
So you mean like great already hitting Phuket since like almost 20 years back?
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Because the same pattern happens, right? Once the boom starts, people start selling the land, the hotel developers, everything comes up, and it starts all over again. And it's same thing happening in other islands, in Samui and other places as well. So nothing new. So today, Thailand, the tourism is not only important for the economy, it's also important for national security. Because we are the biggest creator of jobs. The biggest creator of jobs. We totally, almost about 20% of our GDP is dependent on tourism. So the biggest creator of jobs, very important. And if anything happens to those jobs, we are going to face a lot of problems. And not only jobs for Thai people, but also jobs for people from Burma, from Cambodia, from the Philippines. A lot of other people come here and work here. A lot of the expatriates also come and work in Thailand. So our tourism is now a very, very important part of national security, not just the economy. Very, very important point of view. And today you can see crisis everywhere. Technology crisis, economic crisis, everywhere. Crisis, crisis, crisis everywhere. But we need to find some ways of moving on this. Now, people say that the Sustainable Development Goals only for 4 years now, because the target was by 2030. Many people say not possible anymore. Too many wars, no money, not possible. The other one, what I call the two global warmings. Two global warmings. One is the real global warming on the environmental side. The other one is on the cultural side. But I'll tell you a little bit more about this in a few minutes. But these are two of the biggest problems that we are facing right now. And this is very important. You can photograph this if you want. The most successful tourism destination of the future will be that which is at peace. Will be that at peace with itself, your neighborhood, and the world. Most important. Not the product, not the price, not the promotion, not the policy. Peace. Number 5. Most important will be the most important factor in promoting the destination of the future. So today, as Kantong Theo and Bin Thai, both of them now 66 years old. 66 years old. What I call aging industry. And we have to learn the history. Because like now we, as you see, we know we are promoting health and wellness, right? Health and wellness. What happens? When you go to the doctor will look at your pralat. He will want to know your history, in your family, any diabetes, any heart attack, any cholesterol problems. Because if your father, if your mother has a problem, you're sure to have it, something or other. So the first thing the doctor will look is your history. If he does not get a history, you will not get correct analysis. If you do not get correct diagnosis, you will not get cured. So studying the history for the doctor is very important. So the industry, our business is the same. We need to study the history if we need to get the correct solution and the correct medication. Same philosophy. Now, this speech was given by a gentleman named Dr. Willibald Parr. Willibald Parr was the Secretary General of the UN World Tourism Organization. Everybody heard of UN World Tourism Organization? You heard of it? Yeah. This was given in 1975. 1975. And you see, he says, tourism is a passport to peace and development. Peace and development. Not economic growth, not jobs, not profit. Peace. 1975. UNWTO has also done a handbook on tourism and peace, how the connection can be done. You can download these. These are available on the internet. Have a look at it. FATA has done a lot of work on tourism and peace. All these 3 papers I have done. I wrote these for FATA, all 3 of them. You can download them all available. If you don't have it, please send me a note. I will show you the link to get this. So PATA has also focused on this. This is an example of us in Thailand. How direct benefit from peace. Many of you know that in 1970s, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, all in war. War over there. When they came out of the war, when the war ended, they had nothing, they had no economy. The infrastructure, no highways, no airports, no seaports, no railways, nothing, no factories. The only thing they had was tourism. So they started developing tourism. When Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, when they grew up, Thailand also benefited. Why? Because if you want to go to Phnom Penh, if you want to go to Saigon, if you want to go to Hanoi, you had to stop in Bangkok. There was no way of going there directly because the airport was not good. So we benefited. So when the war ended and there was peace and they started developing, we got the benefit from that. Right? Everybody knows that. So no more two South Asians. And then all three, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, they became members of ASEAN. And the whole region started growing. Right? Very important. So we benefited from that. So people could stop here and say, okay, spend 1 week in Bangkok, then go to Vietnam, then go to Cambodia, then go to Laos. Very important, right? So you can see how we directly benefit from peace. And now I will give you another example of how we benefited even more from peace. One more slide. You see this, 3 countries, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand. All 3 Buddhist countries. All 3 Buddhist countries. Sri Lanka, you know, had a war inside Sri Lanka for 20 years. And if you see all these 3 countries, almost the same as Thailand. Very good beaches, very good food, very good products, forest, UNESCO World Heritage Sites. All 3 of them, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Thailand. Buddhist countries, almost the same, identical. Culture, heritage, products, forests, UNESCO, temples, almost the same. But what's the difference? What's the difference? Sri Lanka, for 20 years they had a war. In 2019, they got before COVID, 1.9 million people before COVID. Sri Lanka. Only 1.9 million people. Why? Because still not recovered from war. Myanmar, 4.3 million people, visitors, still in a war. Thailand, 40 million. Why? We are at peace. And when you are at peace, you can you can build hotels, you can build airlines, you can build roads, infrastructure, everything else. Same product. 1 country at war, 2 countries at war, 1 country at peace. And business booms. Business will go to that country which is at peace, even if you have the same culture, the same heritage, the same thing. Very big, important point. Let me give you another example. Many of you know that for many years, Thailand and Saudi Arabia had a big problem, right? We know that, right? You know that, right? In January 2022, suddenly, our Prime Minister went to Saudi Arabia. Everybody said, okay, finished. 18 years, never mind, forget about it. Now we have peace. Right? Peace. What happened immediately? If you see, before the problem started, the Saudi airline was flying to Bangkok. Bangkok was the main hub for Saudi Arabian Airlines. We were getting most tourists. We were exporting our labor, manpower, to work in Saudi Arabia. We were exporting strawberries, fruits, flowers to Saudi Arabia before. Then, some crazy people in Thailand did this. 3 Saudi diplomats shot in Bangkok. The blue diamond effect. You can look it up, it's on the net. We did this. Nobody can't blame anybody else. And what happened immediately after that? The Saudis were so angry, they stopped everything. No tourists, no labor, no exports, no business, nothing. All stopped, gone. And here's what happened. Tourist arrivals to Thailand. Just like that, zoom, straight down. Saudis were the biggest spenders, longest stayers. Gone. Worst, one of the worst crises we've ever had. We caused it to ourselves. 3 people, crazy people, shot those diplomats. For what? I don't know. Cannot blame anyone else. We did. And this is what the result. Millions and millions and millions of baht in economic losses, jobs, exports gone, labor gone, tourists gone. All stopped. Just like that. Biggest problem. Then, once you get the peace, this is what happens. They said, okay, fine, forget it. After 20 years, gone. Move on. The Prime Minister met the Prince, and suddenly, and boom, goes up again. 22 in January, August, visitor arrivals from 59,000, double, just in 1 year. Just in 1 year. No promotion by Cambodia. Nothing. Just people, Saudis still were happy with Thailand. No problem with the people. Still okay. So when the 2 countries made peace, they started giving visas. Saudis came to Thailand big time. Again, jobs, everything started going on again. When you have peace between the leaders, business booms. And tourism is our first benefit. First benefit. Not banking, not construction, not IT. Food. First we benefit. So, we also at the same time, the whole halal business. So not just tourism, but we export the food to all the Muslim countries, to all over the place. So it's not just the visitor arrivals coming here, but we also can sell our products and export our food, open the restaurants, big benefit, health and wellness. Many Arabs coming here now for treatment, medical treatment, all because of this. So that's all it took. Peace between the 2 leaders and business booms. War between 2 countries and business collapses. It's the fundamental root of the whole existence. Now, this was a statement by the Nayok Adi Kun Setha. He said, when he became Prime Minister, he said this to the Parliament in the statement. He said, on the political front, Thailand has entered a transitional phase, legal, political and governance, whereas differences of views means people arguing with each other, as well as the intolerance of diversity of identities and cultures. Means people are getting, in Thailand, a lot of tension, people are getting angry, a lot of problems here. So we are now at a very difficult situation for many reasons. But he, as the Prime Minister is saying, yes, this is the problem in our country. We need to recognize this problem and we need to do something about it. So I'm just saying this because he presented this statement to the Parliament. Very important that he admitted this. Now let me talk about Phuket. How we can be the solution. Now look at I am born in India, and India is the land of the Hindus. They call it Hindustan. I am a Muslim. So I'm a Muslim. I'm born in India, the land of the Hindus. I studied in a Christian school. And I now live in Buddhist Thailand.
Different.
All four religions. I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy with that. So I understand all the four cultures very well. Okay? So I feel very strongly about the role of religion in our industry. And here in Phuket, a few years ago, before COVID, I went to the museum. Everybody's been to this museum?
Yeah.
Anybody been to this museum?
No.
Yeah? Okay. Very interesting museum because it showed the uniqueness of Phuket. The real confluence of cultures, European cultures, Malay cultures, Buddhist cultures, Chinese cultures, Muslim cultures. All together, right? Correct? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah? All right? No other place in Thailand has this. Chinese, Buddhist, Indian, Malay, European, all here in Thailand, all here in this place. So this makes Phuket quite unique. And if you go into the museum, you will see very good displays. Chinese culture, Buddhist culture, Islamic culture, all that. Nice exhibits. If you get a chance, go back and visit it. I would like, unfortunately I don't have time this time, but I would like to go back and see it. But I think Phuket is quite unique because we have this culture. People only come to Phuket for the beaches, right? But in the old days, before tourism, we still had this culture because before tourism, we had tin mining, right? That's what people were doing. But our history is still there. The Chinese culture, the Malay culture, the Indian culture, the European culture, the Buddhist culture. Still here, it's part of our history. And now it's become extremely important. And if you take this, it's also the same in all across South Thailand. All across South Thailand. Because the same history in many ways also in Songkhla. Because there were ports from the old days. All the ships used to come to Songkhla from the old days. So this South Thailand, because of the port connection, has played a very important role, same like Malacca, same like Singapore, very important role in the history of ASEAN as a whole. And if you look at it, it's all over the place. If you go to anybody been to the museum in the Southern Thai Arts and Culture Museum? This was opened by Her Royal Highness Princess Kalayani. Anybody been there? No?
No.
You should go there. It's a wonderful museum. I like going to museums. I love museums.
Where? Pataling Museum.
Yeah, in Batam. It's very nice. It's a beautiful museum. If you get a chance, go there. It's really an amazing cultural showcase. And as you know, Her Royal Highness Princess Kalayani, she was a great lover of culture, of food, of heritage, fashion. She spoke fluent French. She was a great lover of culture. So she built this museum in South Thailand as part of the culture, to promote the culture. And it's a wonderful museum, very much like the museum here in Phuket. Very much like the museum here in Phuket. So you can see Islamic culture, Buddhist culture, Chinese culture, all that. Wonderful. Which shows what is real Thailand. Collection of cultures, confluence of cultures. This is what we are, our history. And tourism is, again, the most important creator of jobs. For who? SMEs, small and medium-sized companies, and the biggest creator of jobs for women. So this is a family restaurant set up by this woman. She actually started by her father and mother. She took over, and beautiful food, wonderful, nice roti, wonderful, great, wonderful food there. And she is supporting 2 children. And she's very good at it. And she's very good at the food, and she says, okay, I'll make a business out of it. and that's what she's doing. So we are a great supporter of jobs at the small and medium-sized company, and a great supporter of jobs and business for women in tourism. No other business, only us. And if you look at it, again, this part of South Thailand benefits the whole region. So if there is peace here in the South Thailand, Malaysia will benefit and Indonesia will benefit. All of them will benefit. And this is what ASEAN will do. So this border is very, very important for the future of ASEAN. Very, very important for the future of ASEAN. Just like in the 1970s when Thailand opened up, and it benefited Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam because people came to Thailand and then went there. Now, the same thing can happen in South Thailand. So people can come to Phuket and then go to all other region because Phuket is the main gateway. More airlines coming to Phuket than going to Penang. Where else should we come from? Bangkok, Singapore, Kuala Lumpur? Easier to go to Phuket. Come from here and go to all these places. ASEAN as a whole can benefit, right? And why? As I mentioned, go back to the first slide, ASEAN 2045, peace. All the leaders, they signed a document, ASEAN 2045. Well, we have to act, not just talk, not just sign the document, but also make it happen. Make it happen. So, many of you don't know this. ASEAN was born in Thailand. The first document to set up ASEAN was signed in Batsang by the 5 foreign ministers. Next year will be the 60th anniversary, 60 years since the signing of the document. 60th anniversary of ASEAN. So it will be a big event. Like His Majesty's visit Thailand during the 60th birthday, the 5th cycle, very important for ASEAN as a whole. So we need some big event. We need some big event to say ASEAN can do something about this. And what do we do? Well, let's build on the peace zone of peace tourism. And if we do that, we are also following the lead of the WTO, World Tourism Organization. In 2024, just 2 years ago, the whole year was World Tourism Day was tourism and peace. World Tourism and tourism and peace. So, even in Scotland, all the big organizations, 2 years ago, they supported the role of tourism and peace. The UN SDGs, as I mentioned, have only 4 years left. Well, maybe we can still save it. We can still do something about that. Other thing that the leaders do, they all talk, nobody acts. We can act on our own. No need to wait for them. They only sign the document. They come, they hold a meeting, they cut the ribbon, they have nice food, they go, they pose for the camera. The foods will come, they will take the pictures, gone. Everybody forgets. Following days. But we now have a chance to do something about it. You will also see that link between peace and sustainability is now becoming very important. This was at the Sunsirkit in 2023. For the first time in the Sustainability Week at the Sunsirkit, they had from the Muslims, the Christians, and the Buddhists coming together and talking about the role of religion in sustainability. How to be good, how to behave nicely, how to curb food wastage, be good to the environment, all these things, create friendship, happiness. So, sustainability is not just for the business people, it's not just for the ministers, it's not just for the government officials, it's not just for the CEOs, it's for everybody. And peace is a very, very an important part of it. Also, another thing, in 1995, the whole conference was held on this theme in Israel. And you see that peace promotes tourism, promotes peace, circle. Today they call circular economy, right? Everybody heard circular economy, right? Everybody heard of this, right? Circular economy. Well, they had circular economy, peace. I was the only journalist at this conference in 1995. This speech was given by the Prime Minister of Israel at that time. And he talked about if there is peace in the Middle East, the whole region will boom. Why? Because Jerusalem is important to the Muslims, the Christians, and the Jews. You look at it. 1.8 billion Christians, 1.4 billion Muslims, and about 20 million Jews. So 1.6 and 1.4, that's about 3 billion people. You can imagine a market of 3 billion people going to Jerusalem if there is peace for pilgrimage, like we go to the Buddhist circuit. How many people have been to Varanasi, Bodh Gaya, Lumpini? Anybody been there? No? I have. I've been to Lumpini. I've been to Bodh Gaya. I've been to Varanasi, Nalanda, all these places. I've been there because that's what I do. So, this Prime Minister, he's the leader of the country. His job is to make peace for the people. And he said, I will create peace. So they had a whole tourism conference on this theme. Peace promotes tourism. And you know what happened? On the 2nd of November, he gave this speech. Keynote speech in this conference of the hotel industry. 2nd of November, I was sitting like this, 10 meters away from him. I took this photograph. You can see here, he's standing at the podium. This logo is there. 2nd of November, 1995. On the 4th of November, 1995, he was shot. Somebody killed him. His own people killed him. All peace died. The problem we are suffering today is because somebody shot this man. He wanted to create peace and somebody shot him. Crazy, right? Who shot him? You can look it up. Look it up on the internet. His name was Yitzhak Rabin. The biggest example of how peace can be completely destroyed, tourism can be completely destroyed by an act of violence. Very, very important. Right? And I'll never forget this as long as I live, because I was sitting there in the audience, listening to him talk. Last 2 slides. This year marks the 75th anniversary of Pata. Also, it marks the 10th anniversary of the death of His Majesty King Ramadan the Great. 10th anniversary. Next year is a very important one for ASEAN, as I mentioned, 60th anniversary. What we need to do is to create Phuket as a zone of peace for tourism to mark the 60th anniversary next year. Because we need one destination to take the lead and say, we will be the first to create a whole new concept for the future of tourism in a world that is now dominated by conflict, by war, by chaos, by confusion, by leaders fighting each other. We need one place to say, tourism is an industry of peace. We can do it. And why is Phuket very unique? Because as I mentioned, here we are the gathering place of all the cultures, the Buddhist culture, the Christian culture, the European culture, the Chinese culture, the Malay culture, all here in Thailand, in this place. We can still do it. Yes, there are a lot of problems, for sure, no problem. But unless we come up with a solution to these problems around something, a theme, a concept, nothing will happen. Just creating more marketing brands is only like going to the doctor and says, okay, I have a headache, and maybe it's something serious, but the doctor says, okay, take two Panadol, and we're not going to do any good. We need to do something a little bit more. Now, what do we do about this? Well, that is exactly what I mean. So if you say ASEAN as a whole, if you do it in Phuket, other regions can do the same. Bali can do the same. Penang can do the same. Phuket coming up in Vietnam can do the same. Many other destinations in ASEAN can do the same. So we in ASEAN, with Phuket taking the lead, can become, to mark the 60th anniversary of ASEAN, we can actually become the first region, destination in the world to say that we are going to be a zone of peace tourism. Zone of peace tourism. Yes, we've got beaches, we've got all kinds of issues, but this is the place where people can come and have a really good time. Now, people will ask, okay, this is a nice concept, but what do we do about it? How do we make it happen? How do we, today I'm only putting the idea. From the launch of the idea to actually happening is a long way. But that's why I'm here tomorrow, because I'm going to speak there tomorrow. Same lecture I will give tomorrow. Tomorrow we have all the Acham from ASEAN Tourism. They will come for one day meeting, annual general meeting. So tomorrow I will present the same lecture to them. And what we will hope to do is people will start, first they will say, this is a good idea. That's the first step. Then they will say, okay, how can we make this happen? Then people will start discussing ideas. Then they will come up with a plan. Once they come up with a plan, they will be able to go to the government, the private sector, and say, give us funding and make it happen. And this plan can then be announced for the 60th anniversary of ASEAN next year. The tourism can actually take the lead in becoming the most important driver for the success of ASEAN in its 60th anniversary. Why? As I said, ASEAN was born in Thailand. So, we should take the lead in making tourism part of the solution when we know that peace can help solve the problems. But the people have to move beyond their education, their mindset has to think that tourism is more than just lying on the beach, sitting back and doing nothing. We want people to understand, to walk away feeling good. Now we have a campaign called Feel All the Feelings, right? Feel All the Feelings with Lisa. That's the campaign. But with this campaign, peace tourism, we can actually say, feel the peace, feel good, enjoy this country, enjoy all the regional countries, go all over ASEAN, 60th anniversary, share it with them. It's a big challenge, but that's what we do. Like I said, we have had many problems in Thailand since 1980s. We've had health pandemics, we've had economic crash, we've had tsunami, we've had earthquakes, we've had everything. But we keep coming back. We are good at it. And when we have a problem, we usually solve it. Maybe not, we don't always solve it well, but now I think we need to be really creative about how we can solve some of these real problems. So, we the people, remember what I told you in the beginning? We, not the leaders, us, you, me, people like us, ordinary people. Very, very important on how we do that. So, That's all I have to say. And once more, I want to thank Muqbil for the opportunity. And I'm very happy because this is the first time I'm presenting this to a small group of people. And tomorrow I will talk to the Achans about it as well. But I think more people understand it, more people see that there is potential, then we can actually start following it up. Because the opportunity is right, and it's like any disease. If we don't do something about it now, we're going to have even more problems. Because all around the world, wars, conflicts are getting worse. And somebody needs to tell the world that you have to stop going down that way. And not just sit and talk and pass big resolutions, go to the United Nations and make big speeches. No, you have to act. You have to do something. And tourism, I think, is a wonderful opportunity to make this happen, particularly starting using places like Phuket and other countries within ASEAN. Now, how we have this, it's again, I don't have the solutions, but we all do. We all do. Everybody's idea, everybody can contribute, everybody has some opinion, everybody has something important and useful to contribute. So thank you very much indeed for coming today and for once more for this arrangement. And I look forward that after we plant the seed today, maybe a big tree will grow in the future. So thank you very much indeed for wasting your Sunday out. Thank you very much.
คุณอินเทียสนะคะแต่ก่อนที่เราจากลาเราพูดคุยสนทนา Q&A กับคุณอินเทียสมีคำถามถ้าถามภาษาไทยก็ได้นะคุณอินเทียสเข้าใจตอบภาษาไทยได้เดี๋ยวลองบรรยายจะขอบรรยายภาษาอังกฤษนะคะมีคำถามค่ะ
Sure.
For example, you have three example of the Sri Lanka and Myanmar and Thailand.
Yeah.
I would like to know how do you define measurement about the peace?
Okay. Good question. You see the three countries, they have been affected by different kinds of problems. Sri Lanka had a problem internally, inside their own country. The Tamils fighting against the Sinhalese. If you ask people today, nobody knows what is the Tamil, what is the Sinhalese. But it's a small island, about the same size, little bigger than Phuket. People fighting each other, for what? Nobody knows. If you look at Myanmar, they've got a problem with the Rohingya and all the other hillside people. So, internal problem, military government. Here in Thailand, we have had our own issues with military coups and other problems inside the country. Now, last year, we had another new problem, which is the problem with Cambodia, war for the first time. So what has happened now in Thailand is for the first time, we have got problems on three borders. We've got a problem on the Cambodian border, we've got a problem on the Myanmar border, and if we don't solve this problem here now in South Thailand, we will have a problem in South Thailand as well. So the definition of peace is different in each country. No one way of solving this. It's internal, it's with the neighbors, it's between groups, like in Myanmar between the Rohingyas, here in Thailand with the Cambodians, here, all different situations. So the definition of peace is when these problems are solved, right? Like we had a problem with Saudi Arabia, Muslim country. We fixed it. Just like that. No negotiation. The two leaders said, no need to talk, fix it. And they fixed it. And we had peace. And so peace is something that can be solved by anyone at any time. If the leaders say, okay, no more fighting, no more war. That example with the Saudi Arabia, as I showed you, is today the best example anywhere in the world of how the leaders, when they stop fighting and they agree that they're not going to fight, but bring peace, immediately the country, the people benefit. Immediately. So that's what I'm referring to. The definition of peace simply is that people just say, okay, end of story, move on. Stop shouting at each other, stop calling names, finish it, move on. And it can be done if people decide that. I really think that's why I call Thailand the greatest story in global tourism history. We have got a lot of problems, but we also fix them in some very amazing ways. Thank you. Good question.
As you use the tourism as the tools for peace, I really want to know when I imagine like we have the tour group in practical way, we have the Ukraine tourists, we have the Russia in the same group. How can you make the people who feel inside that they are opposite side, they are enemy? How to create peace to be really like action plan, or how to do in a practical way?
That's a very good question. Another excellent. You see, this is what I mean. I mean, because once people start talking about it, you start thinking about these things, right? Very important, right? Well, you know, it's very interesting that you say that, because I don't know how to answer that question. I'll tell you very frankly, but I can tell you why. How Thailand benefited. Russia and Ukraine are fighting over there, but both the people come to Thailand for a holiday. Well, if they begin to fight over here, that's their problem. That's not our problem. That's their problem. Same thing is happening with the Arabs and the Israelis. Israelis come here, the Arabs come here. They all comfortable. The Indians and the Pakistanis, they're fighting over there. They come to Thailand. We have no problem with that either. If they want to fight in their country, let them fight. If they want, once they come to Thailand, please be at peace. We don't want your problems to come to our country. Just keep, maintain your. That's part of the. When we call ourselves a peace tourism, this is what we can do. So if you have problems in your country, no problem. You solve your own problems. Don't bring it to our country. It's not our job to fix your problem. You can come here, you can have a good holiday, drink, enjoy yourself, stay on the beach, go to the museum, go to the culture, have nice food, etc. When you're in Thailand, please be at peace with yourself, with your neighbors, with the Thai people, with everybody else. Because we don't want your problems coming to our country. Because what happens is when these two people start fighting, then it comes up on social media, all over the place, and it's a problem for us. I'll give you another example. I mentioned to you I come from India. I have many relatives in Pakistan. Many relatives in Pakistan. India and Pakistan, like this, like Thais and Cambodia, same culture, almost the same. But the Indians can come here and the Pakistanis can come here at the same time. But Indians cannot go to Pakistan and Pakistanis cannot come to India because there is a fighting between the two countries. So you know what they do, and I mentioned it. When the families, when they meet for birthdays, for anniversaries, they come to Thailand. They meet in Thailand. So many Indians, Pakistanis, they have got, as you know, they're living in the UK, they're living in South Africa, they're living in Hong Kong, they're living in America. They're scattered all over the world, like the Thai people. But so they have cousins, brothers, fathers, mothers, sisters, uncles, all in different world. They say, okay, now we have a family reunion, or we have a wedding, or we have an anniversary. Come to Thailand. Because everybody can come here, no problem. This is how we benefit. You leave your problems at home. Don't come to our country and create problems.
So the tour guide have to be very good guide to be.
That's exactly what I mean. When we start doing the game plan, when I say zone of peace tourism, this is only an idea. Questions like you're asking right now will be very important when we start actually implementing this. These kind of questions will be very important towards making it practical. Right now, it's only an idea. no action. Questions like yours, his question at the back, define peace, will be very important for the follower. How do we make this happen? How do we define peace? How do we stop these countries from bringing their problems to us? You see, it's already beginning to happen. People are beginning to think about it, and that's very important. So everybody's got a view, and everybody's got a different way of looking at it. But that's how you come to an agreement. You put the issue on the table, you talk about it, and say, okay, what is the solution? Very extremely important questions.
I have the example. Many years ago, I met one girl on at the beach, and she's European, and she asked me, why you let the Russian people came to your country? It's like, she asked me, but she seemed to not like Russian tourists. So I just laughing. So I talked to her. I said that you should learn the different culture. Russian clients, they are like communists before, right? So it's like a closed country. So they never travel to any other country.
Yeah.
So when they are out of the country,
Yeah.
you can see their cold face.
Yeah.
They never smile, and they may act something different.
Yeah.
But you have to understand it.
Yeah.
So that's what I told her.
Yeah.
It's like you also, if you never been to any other country,
Yeah.
you will act something not different from others. So that's what I explained to her.
Yeah, great. Good explanation.
So I just, you can.
Exactly. I'll give you another example. Today, not many people not going to America.
I did.
Sorry?
I went to the US.
You okay? But there
Well,
are
not really now. Yeah.
today a lot of people are not going there.
Oh, no.
Not going there because long lines at the security, visa problems,
It's on.
all kinds of issues. US was one of the most popular destinations in the world. Everybody wanted to go there. Chinese don't go there anymore because they were fighting. Crazy. In tourism, which is what we do in Thailand, we open to everyone. We have, of course, no doubt that there are problems. But when we have a problem, we find a way of solving it. And we need to start thinking about how to solve this using tourism as a base. Is the best place to start this new global campaign. One day, if you have a chance, I had the year 1987, if you get a chance. The year that changed the whole tourism industry all around the world. An amazing event, nobody knows anything about it, very sad. But I know because I was writing about it, a journalist, in 1987. A wonderful event. All kinds of, we did some great campaigns, great things happened. It's how we put Thailand on the global tourism map. And we created this campaign called Visit Thailand Year 1987. Everybody heard of this? You've heard of Visit Thailand Year? Everybody heard of this? It was so successful that suddenly the Malaysians said, oh, very successful. So we have to have Visit Malaysia here. Then the Indonesians said, oh, very successful. We have to have Visit Indonesia here. Then the Koreans said, oh, very successful. We have to have Visit Korea here. So this brand, Visit Thailand Here, became global. It changed the whole world. And of course, when you have a campaign, you have to give budget to marketing. When you give a budget for marketing, the investors come in, they start building hotels because you need. Then, when the hotels come, you need more airlines. So the airlines then come. When the airlines come, you need to improve the airport. When you get the airport, then you have to start opening the visas. So you start the campaign and suddenly benefit downward. Then you get restaurants, then you get guides, then you get shops, then you get museums and everything else. All because of the campaign. Visit Thailand here changed the whole world. Very sad in Thailand, nobody knows anything about it. But I'll be happy to tell you about that as well. That's why I believe, I call this the greatest story in global tourism history. People ask me, why you say that? You know, Dubai is better. I said, no. You don't know anything about our history. When you learn about our history, you will understand why we are, in Thailand, the greatest story in global tourism history. We do things, we do great things in this country. We make a lot of mistakes. But we do great things.
But how local people can benefit from that tourism? Because now it's
People,
tourism.
people will benefit, like the Saudis. Like the Saudi example, immediate. There is peace and immediate tourism starts. When the Saudi and the Thailand made peace, there was no consulate office in Saudi Arabia. Nothing. The first thing that happened when they made peace, the airlines started flying. When the airlines start flying, business booms automatically. No promotion, no budget, nothing. Just put the flights in there, and the private sector says, "Oh, good."
Private sector, but not the local one.
But that is
The
local.
small one,
Local
the
is the
small
private.
people.
Yeah, but so when the tourists come, they go to the restaurants, right? They use the tuk-tuks, they use the guides, they go to the museums, they eat in the local restaurants. That's how the local people benefit.
But not all.
Of course not. Not everyone. How that's no. It's impossible to think that all will benefit. But if you when you go to Bangkok now, right? When you go to Bangkok now, you see many restaurants now promoting halal products, which is good because then it creates jobs for people in South End. They when you have a job, you want to just take care of your family. You don't want to go and fight and die for somebody. You just want to take care of your family. Every human being wants to do a very simple thing in life. You want to take care of your family, your children, your grandchildren, etc. Just keep everybody happy. So when the business opens, you find your own opportunity. If you're a tuk-tuk driver, you will find some. Now you see in Bangkok today, right? Many of the rotu, they have the sign in Arabic. In Arabic, I read Arabic. You know what it says over there? This car available for rent. So the person who speaks Arabic, he will see this, he will understand, he will take the license number, he will take the phone number, and he will call that person. In Arabic, on the window.
Can I have a question?
Sure.
Since
I'm very happy to see all these wonderful questions.
since peace tourism is very interesting, but it's more like on the conceptual level. I mean, like even myself spend almost an hour, but I cannot really conclude what could be an action points for peace tourism. I understand that if when people we can be a destination for people who love peace or something like that. But what could be an action for Phuket to be a real destination?
Another excellent question. This is what I'm here for today. If I had the answer to that question, I would be a very rich man. I don't have the answer to that question.
Okay, I got
You all have the answers to the question.
Because
I have no idea about the details of Phuket. I can only tell you from my understanding of what I have seen Phuket. This place, in the old days when it was developing, as I showed you the headline, rape of Phuket, greed, right? But at the same time, confluence of cultures, all the wonderful cultures over here. I can only put the idea to you based on what already, so when the UN Tourism said in 2024, when they said have World Tourism Day for Tourism and Peace, in 1995 in Israel, when the Prime Minister got up and spoke in front of a conference, peace promotes tourism, cycle. These were all concepts that they were going to start building, that people would say, okay, exactly like your question, we have this concept. How can we convert this into action? And that's everyone's job. My job today is to explain to you the benefits and the threats, which means like in Sri Lanka, like in Myanmar, if you have no peace, you suffer. When you have peace, you benefit. Very simple. And once you want to convert that into action, that's for everybody to sit down and brainstorm. Let's exchange ideas. How can we make this happen? And then, as they say, the rising tide lifts all boats.
I like to add up to your comment too. You know, like since I'm the member of parliament, just got selected recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And
And I wish you all success and good luck. And I'm really happy to see you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Namaste. All right then. But you know what I see from Phuket's perspective now, it's about the mindset and attitude of the local as well. Since อันนี้เป็นวิดีโอเหรอคะ รู้สึกอยากจะคอมเมนต์จังเลย
ไม่เป็นไรค่ะ
ได้ใช่ไหมคะ I think what make Phuket quite damaged from the tourist perspective is about our people self too, because I know that there are a lot of problems and lots of people you know, like since Phuket is more like the city that people have freedom to present or speak, and that can go to the news very easily, and that the new hits on.
That's the new?
Hits on.
Yeah, right.
Yes, and I feel like lots of tourists afraid, a quality tourists afraid to come, because they learn about lobstering, you know, like the rocks, taxi expensive,
Yes.
stuff like that. Many things that,
Yes.
you know, even the anything that people can shout at it,
Yeah.
and it's become a big news
Yes,
in
you're right.
Phuket.
Yes.
So myself, as a Phuket person,
Yes.
and who willing to work hard for Phuket,
Yes.
I think that what can be changed in Phuket is starting point in ourselves too.
Great.
Phuket people have to be a little bit more patient
Yes.
and try to find solution before going to any press and news
Yeah.
and talk about that.
Right. Okay.
That if we can build the peace from ourselves,
Yes.
I'm sure that Phuket will become an old Phuket that we used to live before. That I expect to.
That's a wonderful comment. That's a wonderful. But you know, again, when I came to Thailand, I was very impressed with many things about this beautiful country, which I now call home. The Buddhist culture is very important. As I mentioned, I have been to Lumbini, I've been to Bodh Gaya, which most of the Thais have not been, but I have. Very interesting, because I always say sometimes that Thailand, as you say, Thailand is the land of the free, on the one hand.
Yes.
But that freedom can be also mean that people have the freedom to shout and scream, and
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
But freedom is also very important for democracy.
Exactly.
So you need to have,
I understand.
you need to get it up. Now, I think all these points that we are hearing today are going to contribute, because as a member of parliament, you can play a very important role in leading this process. Now, about the mindset. I found it, when I came to Thailand, I found it very interesting that the biggest killer in Thailand is alcohol. Particularly around New Year and Songkran.
Oh yes.
On the highway, hundreds of people die. Hundreds of people die. But alcohol, the Lord Buddha said, don't drink. Right?
กฎอะไรนะข้อที่5เหรอคะ
I have been to, when I went to Lumbini, I stood in front of the birthplace of the Lord Buddha, and there was a big stone there which said Panchasila. Have you heard of Panchasila?
Yes.
You know what it is? Anybody knows what it is? Don't drink, don't screw around, all these things we're doing here in Thailand. We are violating all the Buddha's principles. But when it comes to Makha, when it comes to all the Buddhist holidays, the first thing they say, oh, no selling alcohol. On the other days, you can sell like crazy. New Year Day, you can sell and drink like crazy and people go and die. Yes, there are contradictions. I agree. But this is the beauty of this country. And it's I wouldn't live anywhere else in the world. But what I'm saying is when you have a cause and you can prove the benefit, then it's up to everybody to make that benefit work. Make it work. So I often ask myself that if they say 24 hours before Makabucha, you can't sell alcohol, or 24 hours before you go and put the vote, you can't sell alcohol. Well, if you can do it 24 hours, you can do it for 48 hours. If you do it for 48 hours, maybe you can do it for 3 days. If you do it for 3 days, maybe you can do it for 4 days. So, exactly as you pointed out, it's up to everybody, including the leaders, including the people, to prove the benefit. Prove the benefit. And then, once you make it a benefit, and then you repeat it all the time, once after that, and people will see that yes, there is benefit, then people will, as she pointed out, it will create jobs, it will create peace, it will create harmony. People will come, they say, doesn't matter, we're fighting in our own country, but we can come to Thailand and have a good time. As he says, he asked for the definition of peace. We are a peaceful country. Come here, leave your problems at home. And come here, and it's very important to convert this seed and make it grow. And how do any gardener will tell you, if you need to make the seed grow, first you need good soil, you need good weather, you need water, you need pesticide, and the tree will grow. So I think I'm really happy to see you here. And again, I cannot thank Khun Tuk enough because she's got some very interesting people here, some great questions. And tomorrow I'll be speaking to the Achan. So, after we see what happens tomorrow, and on Tuesday, once they, hopefully we will publish this on the Facebook, people will see it, they will enjoy, they will learn more, and I think many ideas will come of it. This is exactly what I want. At the end of the day, I'm only a journalist. I only know how to talk. I don't know anything about putting into action. You are the one who will have to.
I will be the person.
Yeah, but that's your challenge.
Yes.
That's it. And as a smart woman, I'm telling you, I mean, we've done some great things in this country. Women have done some wonderful. I also have another lecture on 30 women who changed Thai tourism. Nobody knows anything about it. If you ask today, I mean, one of the most wonderful ladies I ever met in tourism, who I met, Tanboyin Chanat, who was the head of the Dusu Thani. She started the Dusu. Amazing woman. We have had some wonderful women in this country who have done some great things for tourism. Again, nobody knows anything about them, but I do, and I respect that.
Any questions?
Anything else? I've had a wonderful time today. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. It's again, this is a brilliant woman. She came all the way to Bangkok to attend my lecture on the history of Thai tourism.
So please write something about Phuket.
Sorry?
Please write something in your article about Phuket.
I'm going to do more than that, not just write about it.
Yeah.
I'm here to
Promote.
to put ideas to plant the seed.
Yeah.
I'm here to plant the seed and see how it grows, because I think we all want to leave a good world for the future generation, for the kids.
It will be.
Yes, because at the end of the day, I feel sorry for all these people who get caught in the wars.
Can I add on some?
Absolutely. More than
we want to bring peace tourism, and I like to just emphasize that at least we have to start peace in you. It's the starting point.
Exactly as the
Having a
Lord
peace
Buddha
in
said.
you first, and
Exactly.
then you.
Exactly as the Lord Buddha said, peace starts eternally first. I totally agree.
You know,
That's why I also tell people I'm a good Muslim, but I'm also a very good Buddhist because I don't drink. So I'm never going to kill anyone on the street, and I will never get arrested for drunk driving. I don't drink alcohol, none.
I think from your question, I think we can start from, we have a multicultural in Phuket. So we have like Muslim, we have Buddhist, we have Christian, and why we can live together in peace. In many other areas, they fight all the time, but why Phuket we can live in peace?
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's we
Brilliant.
can start from this.
Brilliant. So what I would suggest you do, under with group of you, just set up a small working group and do a follow-up. Maybe meet next week and say, let's talk about it. You've already got a working group. You bring it, and again, you raised a very important point because, like I mentioned with the Sri Lankans, we are the people of Asia, and once we begin to fight each other, we are dead. We in Asia, we have created great religions: Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, Christianity, Islam, all here in this part of the world. And then what happened? We get all the foreign powers, the Dutch, the French, the English, the Americans, everybody coming here and making us fight each other. When we lose our own heritage, we are going to commit suicide for sure.
I thought is today everyone is having a for Imtiaz to talk about this piece of Phuket.
Thank you.
We miss
Peace.
my brother. I miss my brother at the LinkedIn on the social media, and also he calling me and invite me to listen him about the one event in Bangkok on February. And just until now, I love him like he a very good man and very good brother.
Thank you very much.
And that's one thing. The talk is true. Phuket, very important, very special, and it's just like a model of the tourism global.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Global.
But that's why they can talk like this, because it's when analyzing like the story or everything about Phuket in the LinkedIn, everyone in the world.
I know that.
Yes,
I know that.
text me and talk with me, and everyone in the world is waiting to see what we can do and we can solve the problem, because it's Phuket like the model or like something everyone in the world would like to know, would like to learning. We are very difficult to solve the problem. If we can do that, it just meaning everywhere in the world can solve that problem.
That's exactly what happened. Exactly. I mean, again, it's amazing because really, the moment, like a visit Thailand here, example, the moment somebody begins to see, here's a good idea. Let's see what we can do to make it work, and that's how benefit spreads.
Yes.
I think the power of just people coming together, exchanging views, asking questions, listening to different ideas, listening to what I call the cost and the benefit analysis. Then you get what is known as the balance sheet. The balance sheet at the bottom line. The bottom line, as she said, how do local people benefit? Very good question.
Of course.
How do local people benefit? Extremely good question. I think if you really just as a follow-up, just set up a small group of people together. It doesn't have to be everybody. Let's see how can you remember. Next year is the 60th anniversary of the founding of ASEAN, and you can say, don't do anything until Tuesday, please, because I have to discuss it. Today is actually just officially I have to announce it tomorrow to the professors first because they invited me, and my idea is to explain to them first because I'm here on their invitation. But it's extremely important that the people of Phuket, the people at the grassroots, take this idea and embrace it and say, okay, let's make this work, and sit and talk about it. And then once you talk about it, you agree with the concept, then you can launch it, and then everybody will suddenly join because hey, this is a great idea. Then more business people will join, religious leaders will join, government officials will join, politicians will join, and then it will suddenly take on. Again, as I pointed out, in a world of war, every day you get up and you see this bad news. People dying here. Every day there's some shit or the other going. You open social media and that's all you get: death, murder. In this world, the most successful destination will be that which is at peace. The most successful destination, not the one that has the best health and wellness, not the best that has the best beaches, not the one that has the best food. No. Every destination has good hospitals, every destination has good hotels, every destination has good, like I mentioned, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand. Same product. One destination works very well because it has peace. The other two destinations, many years. But, like we did in Thailand, with the Saudis, we made peace and business boom. We can prove it. We can prove it in Thailand. We can prove it. And we can make it happen.
Okay, ladies, thank you everyone to come to join us, and we hope we can work together for make the Phuket is piece of tourism.
Let's take a picture together, shall we? Thank you very much indeed for coming up. I'm very